and he was just kind of like.
Gaming, like playing games.
Yeah, like so they're doing.
Right.
It's like a live stream where him and a bunch of his buddies just chill out and play games. And obviously, if you want to ever come through, I don't know if you're a gaming guy.
I'm
but
not.
Yeah, I'm not either. So
I'm not.
I appreciate it from
But I
afar.
understand it's a big ass fucking market. Though.
I mean, professional athletes.
Yeah, exactly,
the
right?
Kids are making real money.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I remember, I go back to like the John Madden
crazy.
games,
totally.
When they were like little squinty little.
Yeah.
Well, they're still playing Madden.
Yeah.
They were playing Madden. They were playing Madden on Friday.
Like the new Madden.
Yeah, new Madden.
That's like playing the actual sport.
That shit looks so realistic, though.
It's like watching that. People are sitting there watching it like as though they're watching a football
You have to
game.
actually they
It's
play
more
the same
entertaining
game
to
on the
me.
computer. So if somebody has a better football knowledge than you, then they kick your ass every time.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, that's a hard game now to play.
I don't think I can pull it. I
I
don't
don't
think
think-
you can pick it up unless you've been playing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
definitely.
hard. There's
Yeah,
a
no doubt.
learning curve for sure.
Definitely.
No doubt, for sure.
Anyway, Snoop lost for the first time, and he was just like. Really
What game does he play? Like, is there a?
I think Madden is kind of his thing.
That's his
so
shit.
the idea
Oh, okay.
The idea that he
So they're all
lost-
playing football together.
Yeah, so there's like six. It's like 2 teams of 3. There's multiple teams of 3 in there, and they like play like a bracket to the final. And Snoop's team
Wow.
has won every single one until this last one on Friday. But probably because that weed was too good.
Yeah, there was so much weed. I think the most ever.
That was always nice to see.
It's like it was the best.
Those guys were kind of funny too. The Savage guys, like they're like from desert, just like growing indoor, no dispensaries around, like putting all their heart and soul into that.
There you go.
The girl looks crazy.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm gonna be interested to try Johnny Denver shit when he brings it out here. His strand just dropped.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
It's all about trying it.
Yeah.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado. Mary Jane! Good afternoon and welcome to About That Time. I'm your host, Noah Rubin, and we are very excited. Today, we have a super special guest for you, the one and only Mr. Sen Dog. Guys, you know him from the Cypress Hill, a true legend in the flesh. He has a new band called Power Flow. He
Yeah.
has a cannabis brand called Hill House Reserve. He's chilling here with us, chilling with Kalia. We're doing our thing. Sen, thanks so much for coming through, sir.
Of course, man. I'm glad to be here, and I'm happy to be with you guys, and let's get it on.
That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of getting it on, let's
Let's-
Kalia,
we'll do that.
let's spark one up, put one in the air, see what's going on. How's it been going?
It's been going good. We wrapped up our touring season with Cypress about a month ago, and then I went immediately to my other band Power Flow and started recording with that, and that's what I'm in town for. I mean, most of the time I'm in LA. I come in and I record with my guys and then go back home to Nevada and chill out.
That's good living right there.
Yeah.
How has tour been for Cypress? Are you guys still touring Elephants on Acid?
Yeah, we were. I mean, that's what the papers say, whatever. But with us guys, it's you're not just gonna listen to one album when you come see us play,
Of course
right?
not.
So,
Of course not.
so to say that Elephants on Acid tour is kind of like a lie.
Sure, 'cause people want to hear the classics.
Yeah.
course.
So we were doing that, and that went over well. We did many countries, performed with some really great bands around the world,
Yeah,
and it was great and it was grand, and now we got to do it again.
yeah, 100%. Now, speaking of Elephants on Acid, it had been quite a while since you guys had put out your previous project. What was it like to step back into the studio and be together and work on music like this?
For me, shit was weird,
Yeah,
because it was the original lineup, back together for the first time in 10 years. And although we've stood friends, me and B have kept the touring cycle things going, but, Muggs had been kind of doing his own thing, even though we're cool with each other, but we hadn't hung out together,
totally.
So you just had to reinvest time into, finding that chemistry again that made us dynamic back in our time.
Totally.
Find that energy source and then tap into it again.
And the good vibes.
And the good vibes, and I think we were able to do that, and Cypress Hill, Cypress still.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
100%.
man.
Yeah, you guys and continuing to build the narrative. I think the record kind of stayed true to like the core values, but I think you also were bringing some new ideas to the table as well. It was a really nice balance of that.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I'm glad you noticed that. And I always felt like if we could just get that original chemistry, that original sound that we first came out on our first like 2-3 albums, you know, because after our first 3 albums, then we really just started going crazy, exploring, you know, sounds and techniques and whatnot, you know. So finding that original groove that made people want to, you know, bop their heads, you know, that b-boy groove, and then just advance it now. Now let's make it today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was the mission on Elephants on Acid, you know.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. Now, speaking of advancing sounds, also Power Flow is kind of a different approach to music. How did that idea come about for you?
Well, Power Flow, wow. Since I was a little kid growing up in LA, I've always been attracted to the more aggressive side of life, you know. And when I first heard like hardcore, like hard rock, and then like heavy metal shit, that it always got my attention. I never knew why, but Power Flow is the arrival of me being able to be a frontman in a hardcore band. You know what I mean? This is where I've gone through my career. I started as a hype MC, the hype guy for a band, and that's all it was work back then. You know what I mean? And I come this way and I turn myself into a decent rapper, and now I'm headed into the heavy metal field. You know what I mean? And I'm doing a good job of it. And I've been on tour with, you know, Body Count and, you know, and Prong and other great bands. And I think my career is still like growing and evolving.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know, I've been in the game for 28 years professionally, but somehow I feel like there's a more for me to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep it moving. And I think heavy metal is the ultimate way of me releasing my inner thoughts and what makes me unique. You know?
Yeah.
Because not every MC could heavy metal.
No,
get up
definitely
there.
not.
No.
Because that shit, it pours out of you. It comes from the heart. It doesn't. So you're a badass rapper, but can you get up there and perform like they perform and let it come out of you naturally, type
Yeah.
of thing? And I find that's the challenge, and that's what I like to meet that challenge. You know, so
100.
we did an album a year or two ago, whatever, year and a half or something, and now we're working on our second album,
Okay.
and we have some really cool videos, and you guys never seen them.
Yeah.
I'd
Guys,
like
if
to
you
show
haven't
you
Check
one,
them
you know?
out. For
Yeah,
sure.
totally. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you're checking for Power Flow.
Yeah.
It's a different energy than Cypress, but it's a good energy, and you should definitely be up on it.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think our best video was the first one, Where I Stay. If you guys in the Power Flow, check out that video. It's got a bunch of lowriders and Harley Davidson choppers, and you know the LA crowd in there.
Yeah,
Totally.
And I think that, you know, to make that music, you have to appeal to the everyday guy, the everyday person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can't be like living in a mansion trying to sing some hardcore shit. I got to be on the street level.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's amazing, and also we should talk a little bit about. You guys have some upcoming shows even later this week through Halloween, right?
Yeah, I actually leave tomorrow for New York, and then we have we play New York on Friday, Philadelphia Saturday, and then come back and we have LA on Thursday on the 30th,
Totally.
whatever fucking day that is.
Yeah.
I'm not good with days just
Right,
now.
right.
Totally.
So yeah, that's what's up, and we stay active, you know, for a bunch of old guys. You know, we keep it moving
I
and
feel that.
and having fun, and our shows are all about energy, and it's about the audience joining us and singing along, and just being like, for just that 90 minutes, a part of, like, you know, the true essence of what is hip hop. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's about beats, it's about rhymes, it's about the crowd, it's about the band,
Yeah.
and that's what we try to put out there every time we go out there. That Cypress Hill experience,
Absolutely.
you know, and people like it, I think, and well, they've been coming back for 28 years, so.
And you're also mixing up the lineups a little bit. I noticed in Philly you have Madball opening for you guys.
Yeah.
So you're kind of bringing different energies. The Cypress crowd is pretty open minded though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always been. I mean, Madball, one of my favorite bands. The brother Freddie, fellow Cuban. You know, just his family story is just a incredible journey from what they went through to get to Cuba to here to be, you know, legendary hardcore guys. You know, and the Cypress energy has always crossed many boundaries and many races, colors and shapes and everything, right? And, you know, we were the guys that were on tour with Nirvana in '94, '93 and stuff like that. We were those dudes that, you know, we brought out Rage Against the Machine on the first national tour. You know what I mean? So we were never scared of what the hip hop community or anybody else was gonna say about us liking heavy metal or rock and roll, because the Beastie Boys had a punk band, right? Run DMC came out on some guitar shit.
Yeah.
So did Public Enemy with Anthrax. Ice-T did Body Count. You know what I mean? So, and obviously to say the hip hop crowd
It's in there.
loves heavy music.
It's in the DNA.
You know, it's in the DNA. So, we decided to just go full on, open those doors up, and see what was going on with that. And we've been able to, you know, I think have a long career because of the fact that we didn't like weren't scared to go out there and perform for an all-white audience or an all-Asian audience or anything like that. You know, we were like, let's perform in front of anybody and everybody that wants to see us. You know.
Yeah.
And you have to cross that, and in the meantime, you know, you build long friendships, and then you also build recognition, and people know us to be those crossover cats. You know,
Right.
you know, the only hip hop band has been on tour with Metallica twice,
Right.
Cypress Hill, right?
There you
I'm
go.
just saying, and we went on right before them. You know, it was their house, but we was in it.
Right.
You know, and
There it
I'm
is.
proud that my band has that legacy, man. That we've been able
That's
to,
good shit.
you know, we could go into and flip a complete hip hop audience, whatever House of Blues do, whatever. And if you want to put us on in front of Lamb of God, in front of 50,000 in London, England, or something, we got that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
You know,
not everyone can say that.
Not everyone can say that, man. And I think that's one of my best things that I'm proud about about our legacy with
Right.
Cypress.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
one of
so.
those dudes that we kind of like broke down doors and shit. You know,
Yeah.
and continue to, you know.
All around the world.
Yeah.
Speaking of all around the world, you mentioned Freddie. You mentioned Cuban heritage. You spent some of your early years in Cuba. Have
Yeah.
you been able to return to Cuba?
No, not yet. I've not gone. I have a younger sister that she went in recent times.
Okay.
And she had the whole experience, you know. With Cypress Hill, it's kind of like I have to plan my life around Cypress Hill, right?
It's true.
You know what I mean? So I just
It's a job.
yeah, I know it's open. It's open there for me to go if I want to. Am I ready for it? I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is I don't know, like the 45th year or 47th year or something that I've been in America.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that they live a different life down there. I know it's third world, and I don't know. I'm gonna go one day because I owe it to myself and my heritage.
Yeah.
But I really don't know if I'm ready for that. You know.
Gotcha.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, you don't rush into it. You'll find the right moment.
Yeah,
It will come to you.
I have
think.
one of my buddies that grew up with in Southgate. His named Dave Lombardo, and he was in a band called Slayer, and he's been to Cuba. And he told me, dude, the next time that I go, I'm taking you with me, and that's it.
Period.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because he's been down there several times with Suicidal and whatnot, and I you know, it'll get done.
Yeah.
It'll get
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
I like that. Now, I know you haven't visited back to Cuba, but do you mess heavy with Cuban food?
Hell yeah.
What are your favorite?
Hell yeah. I
Cuban
just fucked
dishes?
some shit up today.
I like that. I like that.
I was at my mom's crib earlier, and she came out and she did the whole, you know, we had the croqueta, empanada, and a little vaca frita with bistec frito. You know what I mean? Some arroz blanco, frijoles negro, and you
It's
know.
good living right there.
Yeah.
Now-
it's honest living. Yeah.
Are there any spots that you want to shout out in the
Please.
greater LA area that are
Please.
delivering
Take
the Cuban
notes.
goods official?
Well,
Because I'm an East Coast
yeah.
guy.
Well, in Hollywood, you got Floridita. I think it's on Fountain Avenue.
Okay.
And they got the if you're into dancing salsa every Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday after 9 p.m. They clear the place out and you get your
We're
boogie
going.
on.
We're going.
If you're into that little salsita thing, you know. But their food is excellent, and
Okay.
the family is a very nice family, and I recommend that place in Hollywood for sure.
Okay. Shout out
Floridita,
Floridita.
yeah.
And pretty soon, you guys, Kalia will be giving me salsa dancing lessons
Yeah.
there. You guys can observe.
Yeah,
I can you salsa dance? I feel like I've tried. I always feel like I'm fucking up.
dude, I actually got these like 2 moves that I make look like 8 moves.
All right.
Right?
All right.
But I really
like
can't
that.
dance for shit. I really can't dance salsa at all. But my sisters and my dad could like cut the rug viciously. You know, so I was at the family parties. I watched them dance, and I'm like, how the hell do they do that, man? Wow.
Well, people take it seriously, like
Oh, yeah.
especially at a place that's playing salsa music. Like genuinely, people go out there and they really are on it. So like
Yeah.
faking it while you're there. Sometimes
You
you know,
can't.
like I need a pro like Kalia to show me what's up. Do you have the salsa dancing skills, Kalia?
You know, I think I'm a real. I'm much like you. I think I can I can fake it until I make it good enough
Yeah.
to where like I'm still good like on the dance floor, but like don't try to like make me spin or do much past this right
Yeah.
here, because that's what I got. But I do it great because then I get to moving the hips, I get to smiling, it's over.
All right, guys. It sounds like we're all kind of faking it. At the
Yeah.
end of the day,
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Good at faking it and having a good time. And I think
Yeah.
honestly in life that's probably the most important thing. Very,
No
very
doubt,
good
for real.
All right.
I forgot who gave me this, but who's next?
I'll take it. We'll check in with the audience really quick. We got a question here from Facebook.
Oh.
Kenya is shouting us out. Joshua Mena, hi from Kenya.
What's going
Word.
on,
We
Joshua?
love you.
Kenya, brother.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
man.
Kenya. That sounds
Awesome.
amazing.
Joshua in the house.
That is our first Kenyan shout out ever, guys.
There we go.
Thank you so much, Kenya.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Kenya, dude. I'm down. I'm down. Thank you guys for tuning in. Mary Jane, this is About That Time. I'm Noah Rubin. We're chilling with our man, Sen Dog.
Indeed.
The show is brought to you by Loon. They make amazing cannabis products. It's also brought to you by G-Pen, who make wonderful vape-related products, including the G-Pen Connect guy. They make it all work. Sen, we do a segment here on About That Time. We call it Post It Up. We take some pictures from the Instagram. You tell us the story behind the picture. So the first picture, I think this is an exciting one. I referenced it a little bit earlier. You're repping the brand of cannabis, doing big things. What's going on in this picture?
In this picture, first of all, I'm heavily hungover from the night before.
All right.
But I'm like, good, beer trip.
Sunglasses and
that was
Advil.
like the day that we launched Hill House publicly, and there was a one of the cannabis shows in San Bernardino. And I remember that same day I had to be there. Then I had to be in San Francisco for a Power Flow gig, and we had to make sure we made our we had to be seen there
Oh, yeah.
on the cannabis front.
There you go. Now, you've obviously been around the cannabis game for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
Things have changed a lot here. Things have changed a lot around the country. What does it mean to you to be doing a brand like Hill House right now?
Well, Hill House is it's like the house that I grew up on the hill on Cypress Avenue. And it eventually became a legendary house. You know what I mean? And that's where I grew my first plant, my first few plants, and that's where I became a stoner at. And that's where I moved on that block, and 11 years later we had a record out.
Yeah.
We went from boys to men. Pretty quick on that street, and that's all. It's a reference to that, and then just to have like a little weed line going. I just always liked to smoke the shit out of weed. I never gave a fuck about making it or selling it. You know what I mean? Until it became important in my life to be like, you know what, I want to represent something.
Totally.
I want to have a line up there.
Yeah.
And that people recognize it and enjoy it. It's the kind of weeds that I like to smoke and the strains that I like, and let's put those out there. And so we did that, and we had a little moderate success and whatnot. And a marijuana brand is like any other brand when you first get into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It don't make fucking dollars in it. Don't make sense.
Yeah.
You gotta keep doing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You gotta keep putting more money and time into it, and I'm dedicated to that. I'm dedicated to that movement. So
I like it.
in the future, I plan to have like a more variation of products, and things for people to enjoy. So we're just starting. We're just starting right now. So
Getting the ball rolling
getting the ball rolling, yeah,
and keeping it real.
for sure. Now it's the only way I do it.
Hill House.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of keeping it real, we were talking a little bit about being in the studio earlier. I think this one is of you in the studio.
Oh yeah, that's the Power Flow lab there. That's
Okay.
Firewater Studios in Gardena, and regardless of the name, there's no firewater being drunk in there nightly. But yeah, that's where I do all the Power Flow stuff at. And, I get to go crazy in that little chamber. I close the door and just go off and just spend all kind of energy in there
Yeah.
and doing my vocals and I come out of there, I feel like something has been lifted off of me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the little area that they lock me up in.
Totally.
Lock him in there. He can't come out till he's done.
So we
Yeah.
drop some heat.
Yeah.
Gotta squeeze it out of you sometimes. Now, had you been writing songs that sort of fit that style of music over the years, and like we're still trying to figure out what the project was, or did the project come together and then you were writing the songs?
No, I've always had a fascination with the heavy metal music, you know, and my first experience with it was in '95 or '6. A bunch of neighborhood friends of mine that were doing a little group asked me to jump up and rap one day, and I'm like, oh fuck, I love this. So we did a little garage band called SX10, and that was like my learning curve, really into like what being in a band's all about, and how to write songs and how to structure them, and all that formatting and all that stuff. So that Power Flow was not my first attempt at trying to be in a cool rock band, in a popular metal band that, you know, kids respect. You know, that came along later on when I was sitting there bored and shit, and I was like, fuck man, I wanna do some more heavy stuff, you know. So I got a hold of some friends, and now this time I'm getting it right. Like, I know what I'm writing now, and I'm writing about life, everyday life, your life, my life, her life, his life. You know what I mean? And that's what strikes a chord with these people, is when they relate with what you're saying,
Right.
you know, because it matches their everyday life. And I think Power Flow gives me that opportunity of being myself and expressing my thoughts to the clearest level that I have ever been able to express my thoughts at. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
major.
That's
Straight
important.
up.
I'd agree
That's
with
freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True
Yeah.
that.
So for that reason, I'll always love metal, and I'll always love, you know, Pantera and Slayer, and because you know you get a chance to really, really let go, and if you use that music right, it could be therapy. So.
Yeah, very dope. We got another flick from the
Okay.
gram.
Oh,
It's pretty sweet pick. Tell us what's going on there.
that's me on my motorcycle, Lucinda, and she's the beautiful Harley Davidson. That's also me wearing my club colors there, and I think the brother Joe took that picture from riding behind me, and we were out there riding one day, getting it in, hitting Long Beach and San Pedro and whatnot, and it was kind of cloudy that day, kind of rainy, and that's the picture from there. Yeah, that was not too long ago.
Yeah,
Actually, that was a fun day.
good times.
Yeah.
Now we got one more from Posted Up. We're talking about the weed, talking about traveling around, talking about good times.
Uh-huh.
It all comes back, I think, to rolling something up, sharing it with your friend. You know, just being mellow. And what's going on in this one?
That is right off the airplane onto the tour bus at Heathrow in London. And as soon as we get off the flight, B-Roll hands me a joint and says, light it. And
There you go.
that was the first joint of the tour when we got to Europe on that trip. And I remember the photographer was right with me. I said, hey, dude, look. And he took a picture of it. So that was the taking the flight off you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Totally.
Getting that airplane head out.
There you
know?
go.
That's what's that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
blunt sometimes is just the cherry on top right there.
Yeah. Why not?
You know?
I like that.
Yeah.
I
The
like
tour has begun.
The tour has begun, exactly.
All right, let's check in again with the audience. Mary Jane, thank you guys so much for joining us. This is About That Time. We're chilling with Sen Dog. As I mentioned earlier, the show is brought to you by Loon. They make amazing vaporizers, pre-rolls, Hacks era cartridges. They've got a whole array of products that you can mess with. G-Pen, their new product, the Connect. You guys, especially dabbers out there, should be checking out.
Very cool.
Now, Sen, we do another story. We like to make sure we check in with the world. We call it Roll the News. You know,
Okay.
we take some headlines, we talk about it.
All right. Okay, all right.
The
I'm with
first
it.
headline is important information, guys. Scientists have taught rats how to drive tiny cars. I mean, this is important stuff, guys.
That
What do you think, Leah? They
already
now
happened
taught rats how to drive a car.
in Stuart Little. This is old news. What do we? This is old. This already happened in Stuart Little.
Stuart Little paved the way for modern science
Yeah.
You
to
know,
teach.
I'm just
teach
saying.
with them. They tried to motivate the rats actually with Fruit Loops cereal. That was the incentive for these rats to be driving their course properly. Fruit Loops.
Now that I do agree with, because
Okay.
I think
Fruit Loops,
That's a
Fruit
pretty
Loops are
high-level
good, wet or
fact.
dry. Yeah,
And
give me
it's-
all the Fruit Loops.
So the rats learn to drive, and that's it. They learn to drive, right?
And then they
Like,
got Fruit Loops.
and they got Fruit Loops,
Yeah,
and how does that help me in my everyday life?
I know.
Right?
That's very,
It doesn't.
very interesting.
Next, get that out of
Stuart
here.
Little.
The
There
question
it goes.
is, do you like Fruit Loops?
The question is, I like Fruit Loops. I do like Fruit Loops, yes.
Fruit Loops
Well,
are
I
hard
did
to
when I
argue
was a
with.
kid. I must say, when I was a kid, I enjoyed those.
Hard
Yeah.
to argue with.
Cinnamon
The
Toast
Fruit
Crunch,
Loops, that's-
though.
That's you more of a cinnamon toast.
What?
All right.
Keep them away.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, definitely. That was my childhood cereal for sure.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. Now speaking of things we like to eat, the second story is also is bringing us over into the land of food. Pizza Hut. You know, there's a lot of fast food restaurants that are doing fake meat. You know, the Impossible Burger at Burger King.
Right.
Yeah.
Beyond Beef. Now Pizza Hut is getting into the conversation. They are using incognito sausage toppings and new eco-friendly round boxes. Are you a fan of the fake meat, Sendog?
No, I'm not. I am not. I don't like fake meat. I don't know what's incognito. Is that what you said?
Incognito.
Yeah. What does that consist of? I need to know more about that before I would eat it.
Right.
See?
Vegetable-only ingredients, soy, wheat.
It's just
seasoning.
like
All right, you got to speak bluntly. Kalia's raising her giant blunt. That means she needs to speak bluntly.
Listen.
Kalia, speak bluntly.
once you've made that decision, live with your decision. Don't be sitting up here like I don't want to eat meat, but I want all my substitutes to taste like meat. No, you out the game.
Yep.
You're out the game. I'm against this. It's not fair. Impossible. What is it?
It's
Unbeatable?
incognito.
Incognito. That pisses me off just saying it.
I don't know.
Like-
we gotta give them props though. Beyond impossible. I mean, it is incognito. You know,
This
they're
is
really
not
going for
okay.
wordplay.
You decided, like, you crossed that line. You shunned me. You can't just come back over here and be like, well, I mean, let me kick it with Meat's cousin. Nah, it's in the family. You out of here.
I feel that. Now, what about the round pizza box? Are you guys ready for the?
That box actually looked kind of hard. I like the box.
I like the
Alright.
box too. Yeah.
Yeah, because that reminds me, that's kind of like the cafeteria to-go plate,
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right,
You're onto
shout out,
something there.
shout out to the round box.
Yeah.
Incognito, TBD. We need to see that ingredients list.
Yeah.
Frankly, because you never know. The third story on Roll the News tonight is actually a big one. Mexican committees have introduced draft legislation to legalize recreational cannabis. Now, guys, if you didn't already know, cannabis is federally legal in the country of Canada. Mexico is right behind, about to pass legislation to mandate that they make cannabis federally legal. What do you think about that, Sen?
I think that it's a good thing. I really do. Depending on from country to country, because everybody's life, is different where you live at. But I think Mexico, they need some serious relief from everything that they go after. You know what I mean? And for the country to step up and say we're cool with cannabis, it's gonna keep a lot of people out of jail.
Yeah.
Basically, you know what I mean? That normally would be spending years in jail. So, much respect to Mexico for making that decision. Other than that, like, somebody's gonna be hurting a little bit for money because now they could grow it in their own backyard. And who doesn't have a big ass backyard in Mexico, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Mexico is I think it has agricultural advantages. They've got a
Yeah.
heritage. They know a lot about this plant. So I think the idea that one day, well, I think even once it passes, Mexico and Canada, you'll be able to buy Mexican weed in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I bought Canadian weed in Germany, so that makes sense.
Around the world. That's
Yeah.
high flying, right?
Yeah.
That's high flying.
Yeah, I think any country that takes that kind of step is taking a serious step into the future. Countries aren't even kidding around anymore. We've seen, they know the debates and the question marks and this and that. And some countries are like, no. The good outweighs the bad and blah, blah, blah. We're going to go with this. And I respect those countries for standing out there globally like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just respect that. I like
Yeah.
going.
Well, definitely shout out to all these countries. Shout out to Mexico. Now, with
Shout out.
Hill House, if you had to develop a special product for the Mexican market, what do you think the twist on a cannabis product do you need for the Mexican market?
For the Mexican market, wow, that's a good question. I think a line of cannabis foods,
Okay.
like
yeah.
like
I mean, cuisine is so
cuisine,
important.
yes,
So important.
yeah, because they're the flavor kings with the way they cook.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be
no
a
joke.
good thing to
Yeah.
I
introduce
like that
down there.
idea.
Yeah,
The Hill House kind of like seasonings set.
Right.
yeah, like imagine like medicated tortillas or something. And,
Yeah.
that way I'm into that. Joe likes it.
put it all in
He's
the
like, shut
taco."
up.
Yeah. You're saying too much.
Very good. Very good. Well, that was Roll the News, guys. Again, shout out to Mexico doing big things. Shout out to rats that have learned how to drive a car.
Yeah.
I mean,
Congratulations.
Fruit Loops are a powerful, powerful thing. The world is spinning around, guys. We're here on About That Time. Mary Jane, thank you so much for checking in with us. This is About That Time. I'm Noah Rubin. We are chilling with the one and only Sen Dog. Loon brings us the show. G-Pen brings us the show. We're trying to do good things for you. Sen, we checked in with you. We checked in with the news. And now we also want to check in with the stars. We do a segment we call Astrology Time. We bring out our salt crystal lamp, put on get a little mood going on.
Okay.
We flip our color scheme because we're in a cosmic dimension. Now,
yes.
Sen, over the years, have you followed your horoscope much?
Occasionally here and there. Just I don't even know if I know what any of that means, but occasionally here and there I have.
So have you found? Are you usually like, oh, that makes sense, or are you kind of like, what are they talking about?
No, it's somehow or another. It's always related to
Something.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, on Astrology Time, what we do is we take your chart, we find some phrases from it. You just tell us if you think they're on point or not.
Okay.
So these are all from your birth chart. You're a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Shout out to all our Sages out there.
Yeah, my Saggies.
So the first element from your chart, they said they put themselves on the line for the causes that they value.
Yeah.
You're
I
down
can see that.
You're down with a good cause, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if it's worth a good fight, you know what I mean? I'm down for a good fight.
Down for a good fight.
Yeah.
Speaking of good fights, obviously a lot of people are trying to, work on criminal justice reform with their cannabis lines. Do you think that that's something that you guys are going to be exploring with Hill House as well?
I think we're exploring all avenues and of information that we could get our hands on.
Totally.
From legally to what is being done illegally and what they're trying to do to stop it. And
Yeah.
so yeah, definitely that's something that we want to explore and be fully informed about.
Yeah. Shout out, because I think, as everyone's going into business here, being informed about these causes, it's related to all of us. It's a good thing. I like that. Element number 2 from Astrology Time tonight, they often find memorable friendships with people from other cultures.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, it's important to hang with your homies who are a little different than you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And through my travels throughout the world, I have made a lot of friends from other countries, that I see on the regular when I'm in those countries. And sometimes, they'll come pick me up from the airport. And I think it's very important to in my circle of friends, there's everything. There's white, there's black, there's brown, there's Asian. You know what I mean? There's people from, Honduras and people that we know. So I think embracing yourself in other cultures, I think is one of the wisest things you could do and you could learn from.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And people eat all kinds of crazy things too. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
don't forget that.
That's the
you know?
that's
Yeah.
part of the, that's one of the
Yeah.
best parts.
Learn a couple things, eat some stuff you never thought you would eat. When
Yeah.
you tour around, have you ever eaten anything you were like, wow, I can't believe I just ate that?
No, but I've seen my friends do it.
You keep it safe.
I'm a very cautious guy. We went to Australia once, and one of my guys ate these little eggs, and they said they were gonna make him like the Mac,
Right.
little eggs. And all I know is we lost him for 3 days. He couldn't leave his room. He couldn't leave his room.
I mean, it's important to be adventurous, but there is a line.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try this and that, but I'm not trying to go way out there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. All right. We have another element from your chart, Astrology Time. Tell us if it's on point or not. They enjoy daily workouts and sports. Are you a physically active guy?
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hitting the gym, staying healthy.
I try to, with the busy schedule, I try to get in there. My friends encourage me, and I encourage them. But, I keep a gym in my garage.
That helps.
Yeah, like I call it the Scent Dog 420 gym.
There you
Okay.
go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
It's 420 friendly in my gym.
I like
Yeah.
that. Do you feel like the cannabis is an important workout motivator?
Oh yeah, definitely. It helps me with me personally. It helps me with concentration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I work out, without smoking, I'll go for like an hour and get bored.
Right.
But when I use cannabis, I can concentrate into that second and third hour of whatever I'm doing, and I definitely that's one of the smoke a big fat joint before I work out. Yeah.
Now, do you have a preferred strain? Are you picky about it, or you feel like the stoned mentality is pretty good across the board?
I could do it either way. I could hit some sativa and get some energy and do it that way, or I could hit some OGs.
Yeah.
And then really, really, really lock in.
Yeah.
And then
Get deep with it.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Until my kids stop me. Until they interrupt me.
Maybe that's another Hill House Reserve idea. Maybe like a workout, like powder drink that's like got protein and a little cannabis in it.
Heard 'em?
It's for your workout. Like
Jotting
get
it,
in
jotting
the
it.
headspace, push yourself beyond the the realms that you thought possible.
Yeah. Me and B, we stay out there when we're on tour. We're always like trying to see who can beat who into the hotel gym.
Wow.
Every morning, and I'm like, I'll get there like 8:30, and he's already with a full sweat on. I'm like,
there you go.
Yeah. So we try to keep it up. We try to.
It's not easy, but if you stick to it, it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, and it's good for the concert.
Yeah. Well, touring is so hard on your body,
Yeah.
no matter who you are, being on the road like that. So,
Yeah.
Keep it healthy. I like that. We have another one from Astrology Time. It's the last one for tonight. It says they love gambling. Are you a gambler, Sendog?
Not so much. No.
Okay.
All right.
No.
All right.
And I'll tell you the story behind it. When I was like 18 or 19 or something, I had a little job down by USC, and I used to take the bus, come back to Southgate, and one day I got hustled for $30 by two dudes.
Dang.
That 3-card Molly shit, and I was so mad that they got me for my $30. I took the same bus the next day with a knife on me. I was waiting to see those two guys because I was gonna stab them both of them to get my $30 back. You know what I mean?
He didn't do it, y'all.
When you're young, you know what I mean. I was so bullheaded, And I thank God they weren't on the bus, but I would never forgot that experience of losing my money. Even though it was just $30.
Right.
I never forgot that. To this day, I still remember what it felt like. And when I go to Vegas, I do I'm the king of the Wheel of Fortune.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't gamble, and I don't, I don't bet on football, basketball, baseball, tennis, soccer,
Well, nobody's gonna bet
Anything.
against you at this
Just
point.
Wheel
Don't
of
ever
Fortune.
worry
Just the
about
slots.
that.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, because I can control that.
Yeah.
I go in there with $100, and then after those $100 are done,
You're out.
I'm done.
That's it.
You know
That's
what I
it.
mean?
That's it.
I ain't gonna sit there and put more money into the thing that just took $100 from me,
Yeah.
right?
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. You got to settle it. It's important to
Yeah.
have fun, but you also got to settle it.
Yeah, and I also act that I'm not like your average Sagittarius. I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, so some Sagittarius might be into gambling. I'm just a weird dude that grew up different.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. Well, the
Yeah.
horoscope, that's the thing. The horoscope can be on point, it can be off point. It's never 100%.
Yeah,
But it's important, to ask. The stars are out there, they're telling us things.
yeah.
And now we know that you like Wheel of Fortune slot machine, so,
Yeah.
that's kind
Hate
of fire.
getting hustled on the bus.
Yeah. Hey, I used to work. I was a custodian back then.
Yeah.
So I was getting minimum wage, and
Yeah.
I don't know what drew me to that little damn game, but sure enough, the guy that lost and made it look. No, he won. Made it look like, oh, this guy just won. He just doubled up.
Yeah.
But he was in on it, and when I went, he was like, whoa, that's $30. You're out. And as soon as that happened, the next stop, the bus door opened and he split. Right, so I'm like, but luckily he wasn't on that bus the next day because I would have got him.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
I would have gutted them both.
He wouldn't be here today.
Guys, don't fuck with Sen's money.
Don't
The
do it.
message here is don't fuck with Sen's money.
No.
Because he's gonna keep
He's
his
Yeah.
going to try to
serious,
gut you.
I was a mean teenager. I'm not like the same that you know now. This is not the same person.
Okay, gotcha,
Alright?
gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
We grow, we change.
We grow, we change, we mellow out. We have kids and grandkids, and
Yeah, we smoke a lot of weed.
Can't be gutting people
and
now.
and that'll chill your ass up for sure.
Ideally, that's how it works. Well, I think the horoscope was pretty good.
I think so too.
Tonight,
I think so too.
It offered some gems.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Now, Sen, before we wrap up the show, we
Right.
want to make sure we give you a chance to let the folks out there know what they should be checking from you in this year ahead.
In this year ahead, wow, we have a new Power Flow album that we're working on. We're finishing up for next year, and I'd like to get on the road a little bit with that. Cypress Hill also has another album in the can already.
Wow.
So we have to be very delicate with what we do there, and then B Real has the Profits to Rage thing going, and so there's a lot of things going in the Cypress camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and we have to be selective as to when we decide to put our ass on Front Street with this and that, right?
Right.
Yep.
So that's what I like to do, and man, hopefully one day I get to do some more acting.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
really would like to get another chance at that.
Yeah.
I did a little few scenes on season 3 of Sons of Anarchy,
Yep.
Yeah.
and that bug never left me, man.
Once
So-
you get it.
Yeah, once you get it, I was like, wow, this is incredible. The high that you
Yeah.
get from that kind of performance is different than that music on stage in front of 50,000 people. It's a complete different thing, and hopefully one day, I get another opportunity to do something that doesn't require me coming out of too far of what I am already. You know what I mean? I gotta be that tough guy. I want to kill shit and beat people up and like Daddy Trejo. You know what I mean? That's what I do. You know what I mean? I want to be like that guy. So that's that. And for next year, and we'll be on the road a lot with Cypress Hill. We have a lot of 420 shows that are gonna go down, and that's it, man. Continue to moving and doing what we do. And I'm sure along the way, life will give us a special moment, and that we get to relax and kick our feet up, and like the Hollywood Walk of Fame earlier this year.
Absolutely. That's a legendary moment.
Yeah, especially when you don't see it coming and it happens, and I look forward to see what the part 2 of the rest of Cypress Hill's career is going to consist of, because I think it's going to be some special shit.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Mary Jane, Westfest TV, Snoop Dogg TV, thank you so much for checking in with us. This is About That Time. I'm Noah Rubin. We've been chilling with Sen Dog. Loon brings you the show. G-Pen brings you the show. Check out their products now. Guys, we'll be back very, very soon.
Peace out.